One of the misconceptions about narcissistic personality disorder is that if you have the disorder, or if you're looking at someone who you think has the disorder, traditionally speaking, it is viewed upon as like the common definition, which is like this really grand person is super outgoing, super powerful, super charming, super like just big. The grandiosity is like a big component of someone with narcissism. So when I had a therapist tell me for the first time that the person that I was with at the time, who I was with for 6.5 years, she felt like was a narcissist, I was like, well, that doesn't track because he's super introverted. And that's when I started realizing there are lots of different kinds of narcissists. Certainly there are the ones that are the grandiosity is like a really big thing with them. But there are plenty that are introverts. There's also communal narcissists where they go out and they do a lot of fundraising or community work or whatever. And like, look how great I am because I do all this great community work, and they're a nightmare at home. My mom is diagnosed borderline. I would say she's also a covert narcissist. She's not like outwardly trying to like very obviously bully you and manipulate you and control you like sort of like that grandiosity element is, but she's like very sneaky. She comes at it with like in between the lines, if you will, is the way in which she conducts her control and manipulation. And the person I was with for 6.5 years was very introverted, homebody, very soft-spoken. And I was like, this doesn't make sense, because when I think of a narcissist, I think of a flat-out jerk, a flat-out bully. Like, it's almost obvious. So in my head, I just kept thinking, well, certainly yes, every single day, there's a 3 to 4 hour like interrogation of him trying to prove that I am doing something really shady and wrong in some other way, now that he's going to control me and manipulate me and set another rule about what I can and can't do. But he never really like raises his voice at me. Like, we're not yelling and screaming at each other. There's not like that, but it's like very cerebral in the way in which he abuses me. And so I was convinced, well, he's not a narcissist because of these things. But I recorded several of these conversations with him, several of which I've posted on my page if you want to go back and listen to some of them. And I paid a therapist to listen to them. I was like, look, I need to know if I am the problem, I will stay in this relationship and I will do everything I can to fix this. But like, tell me what's going on, because I'm so confused all the time. I just feel like I hear him say something and then I repeat it back to him and he's like, I didn't say that. And I'm like, I don't understand. So that's why I started recording things. I'm like, help me to understand. Like, is it me or is it him? Because if it's me, I'll stay. And if it's him, I have to figure out how to get out. And that's when I started learning about narcissistic personality disorder and gaslighting and all the different characteristics of a narcissist. So I think it's important to understand that you can be abused by not being physically touched. You can be abused and that person is not yelling and screaming at you. You can just be abused psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and it is real abuse because it does actually impact your brain. Once I realized that what was happening to me was actually abuse, that's when I decided to intervene on my own behalf to figure out how to get out of that relationship.